Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of I Cast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Tyranny of Dragons. I'm Thomas, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have...
Malamara.
Lanstalen.
And Fleeple.
Things got interesting last time the Jank Squad met. They have joined up back together after a year-long excursion that each of them went on to pursue their own goals to help the Council of Waterdeep, or rather, to stop the Cult of the Dragon. They joined for the final Council of Waterdeep, and during this council, Severin himself, through a magical means projection pre-recorded recording, declared that the Council of Waterdeep should be without hope because nothing could stop the Cult of the Dragon's plans. This one gave the Jank Squad a clear image of what Severin looks like. And two, it gave Ned an item to scry on, which is very convenient that the DM did not consider.
Shenanigans.
In so doing, Fleeple was able to scry upon Severin as he was in the Well of Dragons, as the Fey Wizards were bringing Tiamat's temple literally from the first layer of the Nine Hells into this realm of existence. And that is where we join our adventurers on this week's adventure. So, the Jank Squad. Fleeple, you just saw Severin and the Fey Wizards bringing a temple from the Nine Hells directly onto this mortal plane here, and sharing that with Lance and Malamara.
And discovering that there are no trees for me to take my friends on a walk through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just how life goes sometimes.
Sometimes there's just no trees. No trees
at
all.
The real enemy here is deforestation.
20% of our proceeds for this episode are going to go to...
And unironically, Leosin comes up as you say that to the squad and goes, actually, we have some reports from the Well of Dragons, and it is just a barren wasteland. It is by the Honorok Desert, which I'm not sure if any of you have traveled to, have seen. It is a barren wasteland itself, and that seems to be encroaching upon the Well of the Dragons as well. They have troops in the thousands, and so any wildlife and any trees that they might have been just hewn down for their own means and needs. So, yes, Fleeple, that is the true enemy here.
Well, let's go kill him. Let's go stop him, I guess.
Yes, as you recall, at the end of the council, everybody is gearing up to be marching towards the Well of the Dragons. It will take us quite some time. It will take us months to get there. It is almost 800 miles from here, so it is quite far. And I believe we do have time. If my spies are correct, then we do have that time before they try to summon Tiamat herself, and which is why we must make haste and all travel there together. You'll be joining the caravan and be joining us to journey to the Well of the Dragons, I assume?
Well, we're going to end up at the Well of the Dragons regardless. Traveling with the caravan, I will admit, sounds a little boring and unexciting.
Oh, yes.
Is there a red eye? Is there a red eye to the desert?
There was that when you decided to stay in Candlekeep, I went to follow the money in a caravan for months and months, and boy, I wanted to rip my eyes out. It was so boring. So,
I've seen that many times.
Absolutely.
Oh yes, you were
He looks at you, Mal.
Oh my
goes,
gosh.
She slowly gives a grim nod to him.
You were working for a caravan when we met you, weren't we?
He takes a small step back away from Malamara.
As we all do.
Take out their eyes.
Well, now, as much fun as it sounds to watch you tear your own eyes out, we have a ton of money. We've got so much gold. We have so much gold. Let's just buy
bragging.
some hippogriffs or something, and we can fly ahead, be a strike team. We can find some areas of weakness, scout around a little bit.
Gotta be careful of the Dementors.
Hippogriffs are a thing in D&D, right? I'm not going crazy.
Hippogriffs are a thing. Yes, that is. I believe so.
Yes. Pardon me while I consult my monster compendium, my scroll of fantastical monsters.
And where to
Yes,
find them.
Hippogriffs, yes.
Oh, there you go.
You all laughed at me, so...
You've seen a lot in your travels over the past year,
journal.
Fleeple. I'm truly impressed.
So, well, I mean, we've got options. It doesn't have to be hippogriffs necessarily. We can get griffins. We can get... We could just ride horses, I suppose, if we want to keep it sort of provincial, I guess.
Yes, now, the only thing I will warn you of is, hippogriff sounds like, honestly, a great idea. My scouts do tell me that, obviously with the Dracorn, dragon activity has been at an all-time high. So flying could present its own dangers. Obviously, it will get you much faster, but I fear the reason why a lot of us are not flying is the risk of the mass to the army would be quite high. In fact, we're probably going to have quite a bit of a risk anyway, moving such a large amount of forces. So I would just bring that up as a possible warning to each of you if you do choose to fly for most of the distance, especially as you get near the Well of the Dragons. But absolutely, that is a viable solution. In here in Waterdeep, there's all sorts of animals that you can find and purchase if you are as loaded as you say you are.
Oh, believe me, I'm loaded.
I mean, no, seeing how young your scales look, Fleeple, I have no doubt upon that.
I essentially got paid to de-age. It was great.
If only we all could be so lucky.
Well, you just have to make friends in high places.
The life of a harper is not a rich one, I will say that.
Well, I'm a harper.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway.
Make the man
give
feel
any more
bad about
assistance?
himself.
He's made some poor economic choices.
I've made a huge mistake.
Fleeple is just looking through his monster scroll for what the fastest possible mounts might be for us to take. I mean, we could get riding horses. They've got a speed of 60 feet. I mean, a Pegasus can go 90 feet in one round flying.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
That is really fast for a Pegasus. Holy cow.
Giant vultures got 60. Giant owls got... all the fast things can fly. Why are there no... What?
Let's just go Lord of the Rings. Get those eagles. Let's get the eagles. Let's go.
Bring them in.
The eagles! No, I mean, and that is a viable option as well. And whether you guys fly the full way or whether you fly halfway or a distance and then pick up land mounts later on, I mean, the options are there. There's absolutely options for each of you moving forward. So it's just a matter of what you would like to, how would you like to travel?
We take some Pegasi until we see a dragon, and they're like, okay, maybe it's time to grab some giant elks or something.
How common are Pegasus
Let me go ahead and roll for
in the
that.
land? I don't know.
Oh, come on. This is Waterdeep, baby. They got everything.
This is Waterdeep, baby. They got everything. This is like New York City.
Malamara has an aspect of the beast that she can take the elk, and whether mounted or on foot, travel pace is doubled for up to 10 people.
I mean, technically, can't Fleeple just shapeshift?
That is true.
And we just hop on?
People can shapeshift. It's true.
Wild shape, I should say, actually.
Yeah, you can wild shape. So Mal, what was that ability?
Her aspect of the beast, it's a totem warrior. The aspect of the elk is your pace is doubled, whether mounted or on foot.
While you're raging?
Nope. The aspect is just a passive thing.
Huh. Well then.
It's for Malamara's CrossFit competitions.
One thing to keep in mind is I can wild shape, but it only lasts for 6 hours, and I can only do it twice a day.
We wouldn't want to travel more than 12 hours a day, right?
I mean, that's true. That's true.
And Fleeple would just be exhausted all day from just like, oh my gosh, every single day.
I mean, Lance isn't very heavy. He's a slight man.
Very true. It's very true.
I basically would only be carrying Malamara. Would you guys like a ride
Okay, well, you don't need to
to
stoop
the
that low.
Amarok Desert? But I need to reiterate, I have so much money. I have almost 14,000. I have almost 1,400 gold pieces. We can handle this.
Well, and we have about 9,650 in the party fund.
Ooh, baby.
Wow. Well, I mean, you could also hire, lackeys isn't the right word, but maybe like companions to help you travel. Like if you want to do the air, maybe they go ahead on a fast steed and they just like
carrying litter.
Sacrifices. That's what I just heard. Pawns.
Sacrifices.
Some sacrifices, if we need sacrifices. I know these three
disposable
strapping
guys.
young lads that we met a while back.
They're
here
called the
in Waterdeep.
Red Shirts.
Got
Just a
disposable
lot of
income for
them.
disposable people.
And Fleeple, I think you're referring to the people in Neverwinter, right?
Oh yes, Neverwinter. That's where it was. Yeah, I know some friends.
Okay, so we're still deciding how you want to go to the Well of Dragons, right?
Just the fastest means possible. Let's investigate the city and find out what we can find.
Okay. Well, this is Waterdeep, baby. There's quite a bit of of options here. And there are some Pegasus in the city. They don't come cheap, though. They are mystical, magical creatures, and there are not 3 of them.
How many are there?
There are, well, let's roll.
18.
There's 5.
There are 2 of them.
Well, as Fleeple has elegantly stated, Lance is basically weightless, so...
Yeah. And Fleeple's even less weightless.
That's true.
Even more weightless? Well, I mean, realistically, like, we could just Frodo this. Giant eagles go 80 feet, which isn't too much slower.
Are there giant eagles?
Well, let's
In
go ahead and roll and see if
Waterdeep,
they're
baby.
giant.
One does not simply walk into.
Yeah, we fly into the Anorok Desert.
There are giant eagles.
There's 10.
are for
There's 10 of
sale.
them. How many? How many, Thomas?
And there are 5.
Ooh, boy.
That's
Enough for all of us and 2 of the 3 punks.
Every army, get on board. We're going.
Are we going to Frodo this, guys? Are we going to fly eagles to the desert?
Oh, boy.
Yes.
To Mount Doom.
Yes, we are.
I would say, obviously, we're not going to fly the
no.
whole way there, but we're flying, I'd say, at least a half, if not 3/4 of it.
I mean,
So-
eventually...
Don't we have to be trained in animal handling? I don't know about you, but I suck at that.
I can talk to
Can we
animals.
hire- definitely gonna be a
Can we
factor.
hire
That's gonna be a factor.
drivers?
So to get trained eagles, to rent them for or just straight up buy the eagles.
Yeah, I was going to say renting. That's not going to be a very
Come on,
good
man.
situation.
We're not
gonna return on
leasing a
that.
car. We're buying the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
To buy straight up trained eagles, it's going to be close to 6,000 gold pieces per giant eagle.
Per giant.
dang.
Eagle.
Okay,
Per
well, you
eagle.
just had to ruin
Because these are
it.
trained.
Had to ruin our dreams.
And if they can teach you
Sure
and
did.
sort of get the eagle used to you, and they can teach you the command words to use as well.
Okay, let's
But
talk about
that's-
leasing
Our Griffin's
options then.
cheaper.
So,
Let's talk about leasing.
Can we do a layaway option? Rent to buy?
if we
validate?
well, to be serious, like if we paid like to have a what is it? A driver.
Trainer?
I don't know what you call
Okay.
him. A pilot?
Sure.
If we paid, and it's a one-way trip, so that's cheaper than round trip.
So you're wanting to pay somebody to fly with you with the giant eagles.
Fly us there, and then peace out, and you get to fly home, and we make our own way.
And keep the eagles, right?
Yeah, and keep the eagles. It's a renter service. It's like the Hertz of eagles.
The herds of eagles. And for the entire 2 to 3 months that it's going to take to fly there,
It's going to take 2 to 3 months to fly there. How long is the army marching then?
to fly, you would get there significantly faster. I'm looking at my map here. You could probably, if you flew directly the entire way, you could probably get there within a month and a half. But the risk of a dragon spotting you and trying to grab you is a little bit higher, since you're the only thing in the air that's large enough for a dragon to take, as opposed to being on the ground where you can hide under foliage and stuff. So there's that risk analysis.
But there's obviously the adage that dragons don't fly at night, so we'll just fly at night.
Oh, friends, maybe we're not as loaded as I thought we were. Should we just get some horses?
You always think you're rich until you realize, oh no, there's another
If only
tier.
I didn't get that potion of longevity.
There's another tier above me.
No, that was worth it. That was worth every single gold piece it took. Let's get some horses. Horses are cool. They're weird. They've got strange, long faces.
They're weird.
Have you ever just really looked at a horse? They're weird.
I can attest to Thomas. In real life, horses are a little bit.
I like horses.
I love horses.
I like them too, but if you really just take the time there. Anyway, not to get too into that. So to buy a horse straight up, really nice, really well-trained horses, it's going to be closer to about 200 gold pieces per.
Right.
Oh, let's get some horses. Let's grab some horses. That sounds great.
How long are horses taking us there? How long does it take for horses to get to where we're going?
To get there?
Yeah.
Well, you would be going faster than the army, and the army's probably going to take 2.5 months. So if you just went at a casual to semi, a little bit faster than casual pace, probably just over 2 months, you'd probably get there maybe a week and a half earlier than the army will.
My aspect makes us go a little faster.
And there you go. So 2 months.
So a 2-month road trip on a horse.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to be
It'll
so
be a long
road
distance
again.
regardless.
I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Road again. We're doing some road trip episodes.
Right? You've been gone for an entire year. You got to catch up. You got to refamiliarize
I'll make the
yourself,
mix.
things like
True.
that.
Route 66.
You make the big
What better catch-up activity is there than a road trip?
Everybody okay with some
I'm in charge of the
Cerberus?
auxiliary cord.
I'll handle the snacks.
That means Lance is navigating.
Lance will just be the... Yeah, I was going to say Lance is going to be the map guy, being like, wait, what's the
the
turn
map
off?
guy.
I'm not getting a signal here. My GPS.
And these horses that you're buying at 200 gold pieces, they are bred for long distance travel and continuous travel as well. So, I mean, you'll still need to take occasional breaks, but you won't have to worry about as many breaks or having them rest for 5 days and then going again. Because for such an extended travel, the horses have to take longer periods of rest every couple of weeks of hard riding. So these ones won't have to take as many breaks as if you got just normal run-of-the-mill horses.
And we have to name them.
Obviously, we have to name them.
Yes.
Well, I mean, and the guy that you're buying the horse from. Well, I mean, this one's name is Pips, and that one over there, his name is Gordy. But I suppose you can change their names if you want.
Well, those names aren't going to last very long yet.
Terrible names.
Yeah, those are terrible names,
yeah.
man.
You're the owners now, I guess. That's fine. Yeah.
Yes, me and my road dogs here will come up with the best names. Don't you worry.
All right, fine. Well, no business to me now. I've got some empty stables I got to fill. So, yep.
How old are you?
Well, at least you...
Oh, I'm 19.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, you're a 19-year-old and you just made 600 gold pieces.
You might call me an entrepreneur.
Wow. I've got these 3 friends up in Neverwinter who could really take a lesson or two from you.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, they're sending my way. I'm always looking for people in the stables.
Well, empty stables, full pockets. Thank you very much for your business.
Hey, thank you for giving me it. I appreciate it. As he squints his eyes at you and gives you finger guns.
I'll take this off our party fund. That's 600 total? Because 222.
600.
200. Okay.
222.
So now we only have 9,050, guys. Gosh. We drained our
Such a shame.
pocketbook.
You could still buy one giant eagle.
Yeah, we'll just buy a giant eagle to fly, just a power
On the way
statement
back.
above us.
We'll do the expense on the way back.
Yeah.
All right, folks. What other preparations do you want to take before you go? Do you want more information, specific supplies, specific magic items?
Yes, I need to talk to Leosin real quick.
Ah, yes, Lance Dale.
Do you, by chance, we're going to obviously be... We've told Leosin what our plan is, or am I the one telling him right now?
I think you're the one telling me right now.
Oh, okay. You could hear my inner thoughts. Thank you.
Yes.
You don't have an accent in your thoughts, Lance. All right. Yes. So we have decided to go ahead of the party, of the army, not the party, we're the party, of the army, to do some scouting, to do some reconnaissance, and possibly to, we're going to go back to what we did before when we met you. Maybe possibly try some subterfuge.
Oh.
What would be extremely helpful in that is, you're an expert on this cult, Leosin. You have probably, I would hope, this is what I'm hoping, do you have resources we could use in that effort? Robes, cultist gear, cultist symbolism that we could have, knowing at least a lot of the ins and outs of the cult. To the furthest extent you know, so it can better aid our efforts.
I'm going to have Leosin roll here just to see what resources he has available in Waterdeep currently that hasn't already been given out to his agents. Yes, I have given quite a bit out to some of our agents in the field, but we did actually just overtake one of the strongholds here in Waterdeep itself. So we actually have quite a bit of paraphernalia that we can give and that we can assist you. So robes, check. Daggers, check. Even some of the more ceremonial robes that they used for more of the regal / official recruitments, if you will. Check. It just depends on what you need. I'm not sure if you would need that necessarily at the Will of the Dragons, but we even have tattoos that we can give you, designs of tattoos as well. We have quite a bit of resources here that you can have at your disposal if you'd like. We have necklaces, obviously, as well. And some of them, I would say, quite high up, actually. Some 4-tier necklaces here, which would be quite good. Now, the only downside with the higher the tier, we don't necessarily know as much as some of the higher ranking officers may need. Do they have a secret phrase? We know some of the general phrases that some of the initiates have, but once you get into the inner circle, what do? We haven't been able to crack or break some of those individuals here in Waterdeep yet, but it's possible we might within the 2 months. And we could send a message back and forth.
Yes, and with possibly my training in Thieves' Cant, I can understand some. I know that their words aren't Thieves' Cant,
That's
but
a really good point.
knowing
yes.
what's being said behind the scenes, that could help in that regard.
Yes, that's a really good point as well. So if, quite honestly, whatever you would like is at your disposal to take.
All the things you mentioned, yes. Give us, obviously, the robes, the daggers, the necklaces. Give us varying degrees of importance, and we can kind of adapt and switch out according to the need.
Great. Now, if you want to imprint some of the tattoos on yourself, there is a spell scroll that he can give to you, which would be able to permanently add the tattoo on without somebody jabbing a needle into your skin. But the spell scroll would add it once to any number of the individuals here, and you would need to have somebody to do the spell again or get another spell scroll after the fact to undo those tattoos if you'd like. So,
gotcha. We'll take that and we'll decide if we're going to use it or not.
Sounds good. Absolutely. But robes, some of the necklaces, daggers, things like that. Great.
Okay. That's my thing.
Great. Fleeple, anything from you before we head out?
Almonds, string cheese, Capri Suns.
Yes.
Gotta have some gushers. Have some gushers.
Some Triscuits. I really like the sun-dried tomato Triscuits. Maybe some pretzel, some peanut butter stuffed pretzels. Those are so good.
So hot tip, guys. Anybody's going on a road trip, there's 6 things you need. You need something caffeinated, something carbonated, something salty, something sweet, water, and a fruit. That is what you take on a road trip.
Do you know what that's called, Mickey? That's called Mountain Dew.
All of it together.
All of it together.
The superfood.
You just
Mountain
need the
Dew.
superfood that is
boy.
Mountain Dew.
Oh, man. Well, we know that coffee is canonical in the Forgotten Realms. So
for sure.
there's that.
Yep.
Yeah,
go
let's
for it.
get all the supplies.
Often called Kaeth, I think is how it's pronounced.
And do you guys want an extra horse to hold a lot of these supplies as well? Just kind of be your pack mule, pack horse as
Do
well?
we need what would that do?
I mean, I guess nothing really.
Thomas just wants us to spend more of this gold.
Hey, you want to buy another horse over here? You know, I've got a...
Have a spare one in case we're ambushed in the middle of the night and he kills one of our horses.
Oh, that's true. We have an extra horse just in case one dies suddenly.
That's a good point. We also do have a bag of holding.
Because a DM would never do that, right? He'd never ambush us in the middle of the night and kill a horse.
Well, I mean, I feel strongly about supporting local businesses, people who are trying to make a difference in the world.
That's very true.
So we could get the fourth horse. Why
Yeah,
not?
that's fine.
Yeah,
Why
let's do
not?
it.
There you go.
We got the money.
Let's do it.
Well, thank you for your business yet kindly again. Happy to see don't take any more horses from me, though. I do need something right here, so I use these to rent out. But anyway, on your way. Appreciate it.
On your way. Get out of here.
I've got another business to start.
Oh, boy.
Exactly, right? I'm going to take this 800 gold. I'm going to franchise. Mal.
The Demonomicon. Did Lance do anything with that during the year they were all separated?
Well, look at my new spells. No, I'm joking.
I have this third arm for some
I don't
reason.
cast fireball. I am a fireball.
I am the fireball.
But Lance, that's a good question about the Demonomicon.
No, Lance abided by your orders and kept it in that bag. And he's just waiting on you.
That is good to know. Not great, but good to know.
Is there anything you would like to do with that, Mal? That's it? It's just you want to check in with and see what had happened?
Yeah, let's check in. We've only recording for 30 minutes. Let's go check in.
There you go.
Yeah, and 20 of those minutes were us deciding which ride we take.
What mount we were taking.
It's very, very accurate road trip prep in this session.
So the night before they leave, as they're packing up their horses and rolling up their bed rolls and, getting everything ready on their mounts to leave the next morning, because I assume we'll probably stay the night at the inn, because that's the last night we'll have a comfortable bed for a while. Mal will pretend to make herself busy next to Lance so that she can talk quietly without it being super obvious, because even though she's been at the monastery and she's gotten rid of the sword, it is quite unclear to what extent Ertu's power reaches. And so she whispers as quietly as she thinks she can while Lance can still hear her, and she'll say, "Do you still have the book?"
Oh. Yes, I do. Haha. Yeah, there's some funny things happened with that book, but we'll get into that later. But yes, I still have it.
She stops and looks at him. "Are you okay?"
Yeah. A little bit more of a limp now, but, all is safe, all is good. At least the book has not fallen into the wrong hands.
She takes a deep breath and continues to pretend to pack the horse. "Before we go on this journey, do you think that we need to do something about it?"
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I do. I don't feel comfortable taking it to a place where they're trying to rise a cathedral out of the hills. Probably not the best. Yes, I think something should be done with this. I have been carrying it, and I would most happily take it off my person.
Do you think we should hire some people to take it back to Candlekeep for us? Should we give it to Leosin and let the Harpers deal with? I'm a little worried about giving it to somebody who knows what it is, but maybe hire some rapscallions to take it back to Candlekeep for us.
Metagaming pigeon. Fleeple has access to the Harper teleportation circles.
That's true.
I forgot there was one there and
I mean,
back.
there's I think we got two options really. At least that come to my mind. we thank you. We go with the pigeon suggestions. Or this was something I was going to do when a long time ago now, stole the book from you, and then you sicked your dog on me. I brought it to the Church of the Platinum Dragon. I was going to hand it to them because, I don't know, you know me, Malamana, I don't trust any organization, really. I mean, even giving it back to Candlekeep. I mean, librarians are weird people. I'm sorry. Sorry for any librarians out there. They're just weird. They're just, I mean...
I believe we do have a patron who is going into
library sciences. Yeah, that's
in library sciences.
Suck. I mean, most are great. Most are fantastic. I mean, just such a dedicated public service. But knowing Candlekeep, I mean, there were some people who definitely, I don't know. I don't trust organizations. The one thing I did and do trust is you two, and something that Fleeple trusts is his faith, which, yeah, what's going on with that with you? That's a long story. Those are the two options. We could do Candlekeep, in my mind. We could do giving it to the Church of the Platinum Dragon, because I would assume they want to keep everything away from those 9 hills, because that's where Ms. Lady is.
Mal smiles at his jabbering and the way that Lance talks. She's missed it over the past year. She thinks for a moment, and she says, as much as I believe the Platinum Church to be able to keep it safe, I don't know that I feel comfortable making them a target. And clearly, that guy couldn't get into the Candlekeep library where it was. He had to have me get it. So I wonder if maybe we should do a quick portal there and back in the next hour and just return it.
We could, or we could just give it to Leosin. Because if we go back with this book and say, sorry, we stole your demon book, don't know if they're going to like us very much and let us leave. Might be better to hand it off to the liaison.
And if you recall, in order to gain entrance into Candlekeep, well, there's a fee to get back into Candlekeep itself.
Actually, we could enter Candlekeep, give them that book.
That's our information.
Here's our thing. See ya. No questions asked.
There's just some little kid at the gates like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, the book collector kid, the page.
Jenny Craig, here I come.
I'm going to harness the powers of the abyss to make your heart become mine.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. I will make every pact with every demon I need to.
Wow.
Gosh.
Wow.
Well, that's a side campaign right there.
No, it is really. Mal, this is your call. It's your thing. I'm just there to support you.
I really feel like we should give it back to them. They clearly have the protections to keep it under wraps. So why don't you keep it in the bag? You and Fleeple take the next hour because I'm not allowed back into Candlekeep.
Oh, that's right. You killed that prisoner.
You guys make the apologies, the proper bribes and tributes, and give it back to them.
All right, Fleeple.
I feel like unless
Lance
Lance really wants to keep it, we should give it back to Candlekeep.
I don't want to keep it, no. I'll just be like, Fleeple?
Well, maybe somebody does.
Oh, boy.
It's the worm box all over again.
Fleeple switched it out with the fake.
That's right. When they go to Candlekeep and he brings it back.
Yes. Me and Fleeple will get on that. Fleeple?
Yes.
We're going to need 3 things. Your charm, a Harper teleportation circle, and your best charcuterie board.
Oh, yes, certainly.
All of those in spades.
So, without too much issue, Fleeple, you go back to the cemetery where the teleportation circle is hidden under, and you enter through the door, and you see a youth dozing at the table of the teleportation circle. You rouse him, and he goes, huh? Oh, man. Sorry, dozed off there. I've been having some late nights. Where are you headed?
I just need to speak with the head librarian about something very important.
So Candlekeep, is that right?
Oh, yes. Yes. Take us there.
All right. Candlekeep, we should move into Kapow. And as he says Kapow, the teleportation circle. He goes, all right, you got 5 seconds, go in.
Whoop, and I rush in.
So you rush in, no issues, and you give this to the head librarian at Candlekeep. You want the head librarian or just any old person?
Yeah, probably the person who has the most authority to handle very dangerous books.
So the head librarian is like, she speaks up and goes, I'm very grateful that you consulted me about this. We will ensure that this doesn't get out of hand here and doesn't get spread around that we have this. Where did you find this originally?
Well, I just want to say out of hand. That was good. I point to it where it's got like the skeletal hand, like as the clasp holding the book shut.
Yes, it's very it's very disturbing. It just popped in my mind.
What you did then.
Out of hand, very good. I mean, it was a really deep pit. It was like hidden behind a door. It was very deep underground. It was disturbing. There was a dragon who was chasing us, and we just grabbed it and ran. We weren't really thinking about the consequences of our actions. We were just working impulsively.
This is all true. Keep in mind, this is all true.
All very true. All very true.
Lance is just standing there being like, yes. That's it. Yes.
Fleeple, I'll have you roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh boy, here we go. You got this sport, maybe? No, she would notice me casting a spell.
She would notice you cast this. She'd be like, what are you muttering under your breath?
No advantage. Well, Lance isn't really helping me very much.
Yes.
Okay.
He stands up trying not to look shady.
Thomas gave me the good bump in intimidation, and I'm not about to do that.
Yeah.
To the
Okay,
library.
that's only an 8. We're going to use a luck point. Reroll that. That's exactly the same thing. We're going to use another luck point to reroll that. There we go. That's a modded 20.
Okay.
There we go.
She goes, as you first start off with that 8, she goes, and then you change, like you say something else, she goes, yeah, but then by the end she goes, a dragon chased you. Yes, I definitely believe that this would be within a dragon slayer. I applaud you. If you find anything this dangerous, please let us know. And thank you.
Well, if we're talking about dangerous things,
I reach in and I pull out a slender little box from my bag.
Oh.
And I open it up and I show
this?
her the worm inside.
Oh my. I'm going to have her roll.
Have you ever shown Lance that you kept that?
I told you that I got the Ioun stone from the worm box, but you didn't believe me.
And then we didn't believe him. He's like,
Holy
She goes, that's a bit disturbing. Is that paper mache? Oh,
it's the weirdest thing.
Well, I honestly would say I don't know much about this, but the weirdest thing is how preserved this worm is. I mean, unless you just found this, I would say so.
Well, I did just find it, but that was like months ago.
It was over a year ago, Fleeple.
Oh wow, that's true. We did have a big long time jump there, didn't we?
I would have said you had found this worm like within the week, honestly. So,
Wait. Wait,
very
what?
Interesting.
What is it unique? Is it really something unique?
It just looks like a worm to me. I thought it just looks weirdly preserved. I don't know why you would keep something like that, but yes.
Well, it was stupid. It was.
I close the box and shove it back. I like stumble as I'm trying to put it back in my bag.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Have we ever cast Detect Magic on that thing?
Mal did. I mean, she has her Detect Magic boon that she had from Air 2. But without issue, you go back to the teleportation circle, and you quickly rush past the innkeeper and goes, it's been a while since I've seen you. And you just rush right to the teleportation circle and boom, you're back in Waterdeep. Altogether, the last vestige of Air 2 has been alleviated from the Jinx squad. And Mal, Lance, you breathe a sigh of relief. And Fleeple, if I'm not mistaken, your preparations are good to go.
Yeah, I have completely loaded up our 4th horse with just saddlebags on saddlebags full of wonderful snacks. I mean, this is a 2-month trip we're going on.
It's a lot. It's very much like Sam from Fellowship of the Ring with all of his like cooking
Potatoes?
supplies that he has.
coming with
He
you.
doesn't like.
Yeah, I make sure to get a little cellar full of some of the best salt I can find for a roast chicken. Yes.
There you go. And each of you get one final night in the Singing Sword. And it's peaceful. You guys are all at peace, but a little anxious to begin the next phase of your adventure. And all of you sleep peacefully. With that peace, Fleeple,
Me?
you have very pleasant dreams. The past year has been very rewarding to you as you've slain dragons in the name of Bahamut, and as you've really delved in and tried to figure out this relationship and really connecting with Bahamut. As you reach out, you have felt him reach out over the past year, and using his healing abilities to really save the lives. As you, in your last dragon encounter, you invested quite a bit of diamonds into reviving and healing those that passed and preventing that untimely death due to the evil chromatic dragons. And it's at this time that you hear a voice from the ether, a familiar voice. I must say, Fleeple, I am quite happy with everything you've done over this past year and everything you've discovered. And it's then your eyes just slowly start to open to that same white room that you talked previously to Bahamut himself when he revealed himself to be who he truly was. Sitting in that same chair with canaries scattered about the room, perches on his shoulder, flying in the air, on the chair presented before him that he gestures for you to sit upon and join him.
And I look at the canaries flying around and say, "You've got a nice little calling card here. It makes things very convenient, I will say."
Yes, I feel I tend to be a bit on the nose, but for a god, I don't think that's a bad thing all the time. I
A little
feel
bit
that
of ostentation is warranted, I think.
exactly. It helps people know when I'm speaking or guiding them.
Well, it helped Malamara, for sure.
That it did. I am pleased that you were there for her, Fleeple, as you have been there for many of my followers, whether tangential or just followers of good in general. You've proven and shown yourself to be truly reborn and truly taken upon a new life than the one that you were born into.
Well, it's been quite a journey to get to this point, but it's been a good one overall.
I'm glad that you can recognize it as a good one. So often, mortals, unfortunately, view a journey as something to be hated against, to be something endured, something to be avoided, and they're too quick to the destination. And he leans forward, really close to you with that big, broad smile. And as he smiles at you, you see these brilliant platinum teeth shine that are not menacing at all, but the true joy in life, the true goodness in life comes from appreciating, learning, and enjoying the journey.
Well, we've got 2 months ahead of us, so that's plenty of time to enjoy.
Quite a big journey before you. And Fleeple, I'd say that is one of your biggest strengths. Your crew will need you. It is not going to be an easy fight ahead of you. I fear that Tiamat's power has been growing exponentially over the past few months. I can feel her physical presence being brought into this realm, as you are already aware. Her castle, her temple, being brought from the 9 hells from whence I banished her. And we will need all the help we can get.
Well, we've got the Harpers, we've got the Order of the Gauntlet, we've got the Zentarum. Goodness, I don't know how Lance managed that, but he did.
That was a big surprise, I will admit. But I just wish to warn you, to let you know that the journey will be hard from here on out. But there are still good moments ahead. Where I can, I will do what I can. And you should feel that you can call upon me. My distance, of course, it does prevent me from time to time being able to offer my full glory to impede upon the situation. But if I were to come, then I would be no better than Tiamat herself. As he gives you this regretful smile almost. Raises a finger and points it at you. Please let me know how best you feel I can contribute.
Well, for now, I've got my horses, I've got my snacks, I've got my road dogs. So I think we're doing pretty good for the moment, but when we get closer to the place where a piece of Avernus is being brought into the material plane, if I think of something, I'll be sure to let you know.
He reaches behind him and he pulls out this item from his pocket. And it's this really, really simple carving. And as he gives it to you, you recognize it is a flute. It's been carved out of wood. Well, you'll need some music. So, take this for your journey ahead. As you take it, he smiles and the vision of him fades. The white room goes and you go back to quiet, contented sleep. But when you wake up, you realize you're holding something, and you are holding Fizban's flute.
He made it at the bard.
It's not Terry Ann's flute?
No, it's Fizban's flute here. And the three of you get ready for your journey ahead. And without further ado, make your journey east, away from Waterdeep. You'll have to go in a southeastern direction. But you start the long and arduous 2-month journey. Mal contributing with her aspect of the elk. Fleeple with all of the snacks and food prepped and weighing down their 4th horse. And Lance on constant visual, constant watch. Each of you begin the journey. And where that journey will end up, we'll have to find out on a future episode of I Cast Fireball.
Shopping episode.
Let's do it!
Yeah.
Let's go!
We got some fun stuff resolved there. Finally got the Demonomicon figured out there. I got a wonderful conversation with Bahamut, a dream sequence. It's been a while since we've had one of those.
Yeah.
So I pulled back from those for a little bit. But yeah, wonderful stuff there. The Jank Squad heading out on another adventure just like it was old times. Well, we'll have to see what happens on their journey in the next episode of I Cast Fireball. Jacob, Ned, Mickey, as always, thank you so much for playing in this wonderful campaign we've got going on. But listener, thank you for joining us every week or jumping in if this is your first episode. Thank you for joining us on this adventure of Tyranny of Dragons that we've got going on. If you like what you're hearing, you can leave us a 5-star review in the podcatcher of your choice. Shoot us a message at our email, icastfireball2020@gmail.com, or you can join our patron exclusive Discord channel where you can talk about some of the events that went on in this episode and talk with other fans and us about what we were thinking and what some of our intentions were. It's a ton of fun. I highly recommend you go check it out. Links should be in the description of this episode below. Speaking of emails and speaking of Patreon, we have gotten some emails from some people over the past little while here. I'm going to read out just a little bit of this email. It is quite long, which we enjoy. This one is from Brenda. Brenda has reached out saying that they can now say they have a favorite podcast because of ICF, which is really high praise whenever we get it from somebody shooting us an email. I still can't believe it. Mickey constantly says she can't believe it as well. I mean, I'd say we speak for us all here. Brenda has listened to every episode twice over, and they're eagerly awaiting more, and it's so far hard to find clean, professional-level content like yours. I'll attribute the professional editing and sound mixing to Mickey here, but also to the cast members of Ned and Jacob as well. Brenda, thank you so much for your email. She has some very kind and heartwarming words that we'll leave to the email here, but thank you so much, Brenda, for reaching out. Also, we have an email from Zachary. Zachary said, held off on sending this email review until this week's episode dropped, this week being, I believe, the Arathator battle. But if possible, could I be told just how much health Arathator had left after his fight, then flight from Fleeple? I know we've had a couple questions about that, and I'm going to leave that for a future word of recall. I'm not going to answer it here, but Zachary, thank you so much for reaching out to us. Lastly, we're going to shout out one last person here. Brian shot us a message through Instagram there at iCastFireball20 there. And they said, first, they just want to say that they love what we're doing. Been listening to since episode 5. That was week 2, I believe, because we dropped the first 4 episodes, right, Mickey, the first week. And so episode 5 was week 2 back in 2021. Brian, thanks for reaching out to us. It's great to hear from you, and love that you're enjoying the story moving forward. Speaking of shout outs, our last one we're going to do is to our sister podcast, Improv Tabletop. They have amazing campaigns. You've heard us speak about them in nauseam. I believe that's the word you use. And they are just absolutely fantastic. Go listen to their Avatar stuff. Go listen to their Fate Accelerated stuff. It's great. Great stuff. And don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have
Malamara.
Lance Thalen.
And Fleeple.
Let's keep that fire going, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.